Well, traditionally we talk now about how important AWPers might be here on Overpass, but all day really we've been seeing limited effectiveness from the AWPers in the Simon 4 series earlier, and on Dust 2 it really was the rifles doing the majority of the work instead of the AWPs. AVEZ, they will win the knife round on their map pick, so that's likely to cause them to stick on this CT side, which is exactly what they do. And they are going to be waiting once again to deal with the pace and execution of Endpoint's T-side attacks.
I'm not putting anything past AVEZ by any means whatsoever. Kai, when he was turning up, certainly played his role and certainly helped AVEZ look like some form of a threat, but you can't help but say a 16-5 scoreline is a threat. The odds are a little more likely to suggest Endpoint could be edged out somewhat closer, though.
Indeed, our partners over at LootBet just about giving Endpoint the edge on this one ever so slightly after their win in that last map. And they're going to go for a fairly default setup. One in connector, Crucial out early to try and find the aggressing CTs. Then it's short control that has to go Endpoint's way. Bialy's found Crucial and punished him for sticking about at range towards A. And Endpoint now, they'll turn towards this B bomb site by the looks of things and try and make their way in over here.
They've got some utility still to use. Mighty Max smoking 2 flashes. But at Endpoint, they look a little more interested in seeing what the A defense has to offer. Marcos could be the first point of contact. He just isn't clean. 3 players eventually come off better. Thomas finding the resulting blow means that now Bialy has a bit more work to do along with Kyler. 2 players with experience between them, and the shots, at least a bit of spam, do allow Kyler an initial 2 kills. Real had to strike back. It's a 3-on-2, which others are just about favoured in. Don't count Endpoint out as they now approach this A site for a bomb plant.
Max could have rotated off, but he does commit in the late instance. Surreal on A long, trying to get it done, but both players struggling against the CT pistols. You can't have long, drawn-out gunfights against them, and eventually they do win. AVEZ pick up the pistol round. That'll be a nice little bit of mental fortitude for them to just be able to get off to a nice start at this game after the loss in the last. Build up a nice bit of a round streak for yourselves and try and get into things here. Endpoint obviously going to be looking to deny you with the force.
Forced by mainly pistols. Good set of nades really in it. 3 smokes. 4 smokes, I can't even do maths. Real also has a nade with Robin. The Eagles now look for the early damage and potentially a chance of upsetting a couple of AVEZ forced up M4s. Sam was there. Cyril had the early info. Oh, goodbye, Bialy.
R.I.P. Surreal takes first blood in the round. 3 MP9s up against head-armoured pistols. They could be in a little bit of trouble. Kai down onto 53 HP. Nice and softened up for when these Deagles make the way in. And Thomas has got a Molotov as well. That can be used to force out some CT positioning a little bit. Now we're just trying to peek into connector. Force some aggression out, but Crucial waits on the other side. Endpoint ticking the clock down at this point, and what effect is that going to have? Our rotation's going to be called away? Or is Kyler up towards A going to get aggressive and try and figure out where the push is coming from?
That's a great entry that Marcos gains. He can't quite double up. Mighty Max now will at least try and push him, but look at the SMG up close. It's done good work. Thomas is real. You know what? Have somehow spun Endpoint into an advantage momentarily. M4 CT doesn't get cleared. The M4 now looks to double up for something. And while they get a bomb plant, that's a good bonus. They can't escape the M4 spray. Just too convincing and too demanding for Endpoint.
They get the bomb down, earn the bonus cash. They take down 3 CTs as well, so they try and check that early economy somewhat, but unfortunately, they do not convert the round. AVEZ pick up the second. They're likely now to pick up the third as a result of the incoming Endpoint eco, and it'll be round 4 that is fully contested with the guns. Nora really doing well to stay in control, but it's that Surreal headshot that opened things up.
Yeah, it was a great headshot, but I don't think there's too much you can do if you've got an M4 with your weaker pistols. 2-0 start. AVEZ at least start this one off in the right manner that they intend to go on and win this with. Marcos quick. 2 players down connector. They're not going for the fountain control. They're not going for anything really towards aim. He looked for something quite quick, and that's going to be Robin again opening things up with a pistol.
Endpoint have sort of forced again. It's really a weird buy. Just making sure everyone's cash stays above 2,000 and then investing into whatever you can outside of that. It makes sense. Keep that CT economy under pressure. Try and farm those kills up if possible, even if you don't win the rounds. If they can get 3 players killed in this round, it's going to be so much easier in the next gun round just due to that lack of CT utility, rifles, you name it. Nara now in connector could be under pressure. They might rush down into him. He's holding true on the stairs but can't flick up for the next player. It's a 2-on-2. Mighty Max has an M4, but both Endpoint T's left alive don't have the blessing of body armor.
Now, is that a concern? Feels like it should be. Mighty Max creeping out of the bomb. That's heading towards B. And he needs to just clear the short angle. Kai, more or less wait for the sound of the bomb to be ticked in if it does go down on B. So passive. Really unsure where AVEZ are playing. He was somewhat concerned. A little bit more of water where his teammates died from in the round prior. There's the A site open. Max is just waiting for Surreal to get down. They've got 14 seconds. They've got to speed this up. Unless they clear the short angle, well, they might not even need to because Max can get the bomb down anyway.
The safety of the pillar grants him the plant. Surreal in heaven. Has to go true. No body armor on either player. Headshots have to land from this scout. Whiffing the opening shot. It's going to be very difficult to repeat that angle. He's going to be under pressure. Mighty Max pops up at the right time, though. Big M4 kill. Big damage now onto Kai, but no conversion. Kai dancing around the smoke, sticking the bomb. Surreal. Oh, no, the movement's a bit dodgy. Where does he expect to shoot? He whiffs it. Oh, what an unfortunate scenario. Endpoint have the chance to win the force, but just lose control at the last second.
Well, Nora, he did some good damage. It was a good force by whatever sort of buy that Endpoint brought out there. They were good enough, at least for the bomb plant, but this is where they've got to step up the game. The AKs are out, the AWP is there. Marcos will have no body armor to support his AWP. Very vulnerable to the one-tap potential of the AKs. As Endpoint start this one off with a default. AVEZ a lot more momentum and a bit more control over towards A. 3 players up there on 1 in connector.
Endpoint have done an excellent job of decimating that AVEZ economy. Look at the bank on those CT players. Endpoint, the advantage in their favor, but only if they convert this round. Surreal pushing up bathrooms. Both players are punished. Bialy and Marcos an aggressive crossfire. Kai shuts down Mighty Max as well. That's it, all said and done. It has to be for Endpoint. They can't even get the bomb back under their control at this point. Save those AKs and get the hell out of there, even though there's a minute left on the clock. Try and find an exit, perhaps towards connector. That's beautifully shut down by AVEZ.
The aggression really was so key to how they came off better, but I do just want to bring a stat to mind just regarding Endpoint. 42% of rounds won are on the T side, so 57% win on CT end. They do favour the more defensive side, the blue end. Kai's pre-fire isn't quite enough for a kill. Endpoint still want to contest at least this for damage. And it is Robin finding and fighting off Kai, but they've still got lots more to do. And money not in an ideal spot either, so 20 seconds left. I think now the call is just to back off and keep what you have.
Certainly is. Robin, he's going to steal away an AWP. Cheeky breaky. But he's scoped in. That's information for Bialy. Positional information and weaponry information. They expect a crossfire. They wait for time. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. How many more are going to tick down? Bialy decides not to aggress the flames. The AWP allowed to be brought forward, and Endpoint can still buy up. But it's 4-0 lead at the moment for AVEZ. Endpoint, if they fail this gun round, you'll almost guarantee them having to go down onto an eco at that point. And that's really dangerous, because that would be 2 gun rounds in a row that Endpoint would have fallen foul to. This time, it looks like they want to give it a go towards B, and they're going to go for the boost. 5-man boost to try and get Crucial up. Hopefully he doesn't get wrecked by the timing of the train, but he might just be too late to get up there, I think. The train goes past, as it always does. And he's just hoping to find someone on the jump boost. How long do they wait here, though? How much time do they waste? No more is the answer.
Unfortunate. But Kai on an MP9 and minimal utility on a couple of these players certainly gives Endpoint a chance of maybe striking up to get damage done. The issue is they've got an AWP to focus on towards long. They've also got AKs across the board. I mean, Endpoint can be very liable to potential deaths easily.
Ooh, Crucial. Gets the opening AWP shot. First kill of the game for him. Thomas looking to convert the second kill as well. The MP9 will clean him up, but Mighty Max on the flank. Kai has no idea that that's coming. Endpoint, this round, all but theirs guaranteed. The bomb making its way into a freebie site, and Surreal, waiting for Kyler to peek out of the toilets, removes him and leaves Bialy in the 1-on-4.
Bialy knows he just has to save. Has to back up. Keep something going into round number 6. Endpoint, a good response, a good time also to just ensure that you don't lose too much money. You don't force AVEZ into strong financial advantage. Talking about AVEZ's money, it's not going to be ideal going forward. The AK might be surrounded by a couple of M4s. Too much really for them to work with. Quite a full reset, but it'll start. Bialy also takes out Robin just for extra support.
And gets the AWP as well. They could buy around it. It would be a force. They are going to do it. Kyler's going to get an M4. MP9's out. Pistols on Kai. Marcos with the AWP. It's a decent buy from AVEZ, but it's definitely weaker than the last round. They'd need to contest and push Endpoint back here. Otherwise, they'd have to drop down onto the eco in the next, you expect. And that's Endpoint's opportunity to really come back into things.
But Thomas will at least look for an early start. Quick little pre-fire just to try and ensure no one is pushing up close towards short, but it is smoked off. Endpoint for now just gain a bit of map control, but they need to be aware of what's going to be a boost. Bialy on top might find the timing on Surreal. But they've missed it. Thomas was looking there, and he just about gets it. A massive start, and it's advantage Endpoint.
Oh my word, there are the replies from AVEZ though. Narwart's through the smoke, and Kai opening up as well. He doesn't get the timing on Thomas. Surreal finds Kyler, but it's a 2-on-3 pushing into this B bomb site now. Somehow Surreal's found another kill. Kai's position given away, but Surreal's so low that Robin has to be the point of contact here. There's an AWP in heaven that nobody expected. After that smoke dissipated, it was just all over. AVEZ, they get one back immediately.
Oh, great response, a good time, and AVEZ's money isn't perfect, but they can just about get some M4s out there, spreading out the cost to ensure they all get at least an equal share of weapons. That's come off quite better, despite the lack in utility. While Thomas did so well to get the initial kill, it just wasn't enough. The AWP was really the threat which shut down Endpoint's hopes there. The leader, AVEZ. 5-1 up. Do have an AWP, but Max now looks to be a little original and look to go aggressive.
Speed. That's his ally with this MAC-10. Close down the range, get close to the rifles, get close to the AWP. Make the weapon effective. Convert kills. Unfortunately, while that's his objective, it's not what he's been able to accomplish at the start of the round. Instead, settling for B short control as the rest of Endpoint just happy to take as much of this map as they can, slowly and passively clearing out bathrooms and making sure that they have options in this round. They don't want to be hemmed in. Decent nade there onto Kai, tagging him down to 77.
Thomas needs to get something on this up close. Kai's a winner. AVEZ had 2 players pushing in the Monster Canal, so that's a great start, at least again, for the Polish point of view. Endpoint, a completely different side to what we saw play just now on Dust 2. It seems as though they're not as convincing and confident. Look at that for a late call. Now looking to rotate up towards Connector. The AWP's already there. Marcos fully prepared to eliminate Crucial. 25 seconds. The AWP gets another. It's a bomb drop. It's an Endpoint loss. Unless somehow Robbins look to fight back. Bialy says no to that one. I think that's a save call that Robin has to go for.
Endpoint struggling on the T side. It looked like they had chances. It looked like they had opportunities with those forces. They brought that AVEZ economy into check, but they just couldn't convert the necessary gun round. Robin has to save the AK. The rest of Endpoint might buy, but don't get baited into this trap, Endpoint. It's a tactical map overpass utility. You can't underestimate its importance. Don't be baited into just buying up rifles because you can. That's a very quick way to give AVEZ a dominant CT side.
This is the time where Endpoint just waits. I was going to say wait for the money to reset. Robin didn't invest much into this one. Cross for now. The early flash, and again, Connector is what Endpoint really looks to focus on. Quickly marching up towards the entrance. It's an AWP filled fun day for Marcos. He looks for more, but it's Robin who instead shuts down Bialy. Marcos also deleted. For now, Endpoint, they at least keep this a level playing field.
Kyler removes Crucial. AWP gone. Robin taken down by Norat. Thomas spotted on long. Tech 9 in hand. Tags damage. Has AWP. Does flick. And gets second. And now it's a one-on-one. He's pulled it back from the brink. He has a minute to work with. Norat, he could get absolutely wrecked here if he's not careful. Thomas on the fast rotate. Picks up an AK, but Norat is now looking the right way. Torn between 2 angles is the Polish player. Eventually looks the wrong way, Thomas! It was a dirty spray, but it gets done in the end. The 1v3 gives Endpoint their second round.
What an individual effort that was. Thomas just struck out, stunned AVEZ, and those 2 quick kills were just so convincing. The AK switch over, the winning play.
And now our case partners over at Hellcase get their mention. The biggest and most known case opening website with almost 100 cases, upgrader, updated case battle, and absolutely many more unique features. Endpoint in connector. Kai in danger here. Actually sprays down, giving his position away, but he can't stop them from taking B short. Endpoint thankful they didn't fall foul to that one.
That's the last smoke used towards beam. At least for the CT's point of view. Want to have a good set of weapons, and this push by Kyler certainly just gives AVEZ so much more information to know and expect what could be fast out B play. The MP9 on 5 HP still allowed to come off bench against Robin. In fact, Max had to respond, and he just about does it to ensure that maybe there is an Endpoint third round in this match, or even in this round.
4-on-3 retake for AVEZ with Kai on just 5 HP. Oh, Crucial's AWP. That's a bit of a whiff. That's room now for AVEZ to get in. It looks like Thomas's position is spotted on 3 HP though. Mighty Max from the flank. He can clean it up. It's Thomas who gets another couple of kills in the site as well. The third round for Endpoint does go their way. It's ever so dangerous, but eventually they do secure it.
AVEZ, a reminder, this is their map pick, and they are looking to try and boost their momentum and hopes with a positive CT side, and it started off that way, but Endpoint do strike 3 or 2 rounds back in a row, so pushing forward. Now the Polish side looking towards an economic save scenario. Quite quick. Endpoint start off defaulting in this round. A lot of players heading towards short, at least that's how AVEZ want to approach this. 3 towards long. Endpoint Again, take advantage of a side of a map, which I feel as though lots of CT's teams normally don't put a lot of presence on.
I think you're right there. Thomas holding the flank, but quite famously this angle can be overwhelmed by multiple players. He's spoilt for choice with targets, and eventually Norut takes him down, but that's info to Endpoint. Positions at least. Kyler, that is an incredibly quick USPS double dink. Brings it into the 3-on-3. And Endpoint still haven't been able to get into the A site yet. They have to actually deploy their utility, of which they are running out, but do eventually put the smokes and molotovs down. Kai from Optimus eventually is taken down. Kyler with another USPS kill. And it's all on Norut on his saved AK.
Others have done well with this eco so far. They invested very little and they've come and ended up with a 1-on-2 scenario, which Norut could certainly still find a winning play in. Crucial had the angle and he almost whiffed it, but it's an Endpoint win to help them find 4. Oh, they're shut out, but a very good eco nonetheless of what happened there.
Finally, AVEZ can get the guns out again. 5 rifles, no AWPs available, which, considering how good Marcos has been playing with it, is certainly something that will be missed by the AVEZ side in this round. Endpoint, they want outside control. Crucial, he does have an AWP. But so far, he's yet to really turn up on overpass as well. Endpoint, just playing this one perfectly standard. Take that early fountain control. Don't over-aggress or commit anywhere towards B, and it's AVEZ who are trying to push too long to stop them.
Got limited utility, so they've got to now be a bit more convincing on the Angels. AVEZ for now. Lead cut to 2 rounds. Depending on what Mighty Max finds here towards A long, it could be a couple more rounds. AVEZ come off worse, and Kyler now playing a safer angle. Do you expect this if you're Mighty Max? Oh, you do, and they do find a kill from it. 2-0 Angels towards A long. Now Bialy steps up and looks to really hold strong, but there's not any kill. It was a real struggle to get the first one. Drill still is alive.
B short now, the avenue of attack for Endpoint, rushing into the site. Kai, the only man here who can defend, but he's only got Thomas to worry about from Monster. Finds that shot, turns around, looks for Surreal, but Robin bails out his teammate. 3-on-2 retake. Bialy on 21 HP, but Crucial missing another shot. Norut allowed to push yet further in. 2 low HP players here for Endpoint, but no utility for AVEZ might mean they just save these M4s.
Point. Get another. 4 in a row now. AVEZ now starting to feel a little bit shaky. For Endpoint, this is a great time just to boost and build up on their weapons and economy. But they've played this map quite a few times, not as often as AVEZ. AVEZ, you can see why they're looking to put up a good fight here. They lose, they're eliminated. They win, Vertigo would be on the cards. 4 in a row is something they just have to be aware of now. A lot of money is there. Be a weak buy. Let's just go for the half buy.
Partial investment on anything other than the 2 rifles. Endpoint with the ability to tie it up at 6-6. Excellent work so far on their T side. One player spotted by Surreal, but doesn't expect Norut to be on the M4 in the closer angle. Continue to push through Monster, though. The CT flashes are good, but all of their utility now is just about been expended. Bialy's found a second kill, but Robin brought it back into the 4-on-3 and Crucial to the 3-on-3. And already you can see Kai having to rotate up to the A site, and even sending Bialy to go up there with the rifle just to make sure that it's better defended. Kai, he's picked up an AK for himself now. And Crucial. That's the kill he wants. finds it on to Kai, has the opportunity to swing for another. Bialy, the only CT left alive. He's found Robin, but he has to win a 1v2 clutch now in the B site to deny up the tied score.
No kit, no utility. This is a tough one for maybe even him to win at this point. The bomb still goes down. The veteran now looks to somehow restore a lead for AVEZ. Even on Endpoint, a tied scoreline. Max will win it. 7 kills to his name as Endpoint do find that 6th round. Now, if you're AVEZ, you've got the money, you can force out, you can now start to put back momentum on Endpoint, but a loss here on a gun round is going to be mentally distressing. So this, for AVEZ, has to be good. They'll have a North out, but their utility level's not as strong as Endpoint on the T side.
Round 13 out of 15 in the half. AVEZ lose this full buy. They risk losing control of the entire half. Marcos flashed early to prevent his aggression, but he's heard steps close. He's going to just walk around the corner, but he doesn't look the right way. Surreal punishes him. 4 on 5. Endpoint earning that man advantage and continuing to push the upper ground towards A. They want Robin to come in for the fast flank onto Kyler. They want to be able to push them both at the same time. Instead, timing not quite right. Kyler finds Robin, brings it back into the 4 on 4, but Thomas cleans it up. Bialy onto Surreal, though, straight into a 3 on 3. Trading coming out at pace in this particular round. An aggressive positioning from Norat could push up Connector and deal some serious damage at any point.
Norat can just hold that angle, I think. He can keep watching what happens towards B, and really, that's all the info that AVEZ need to know about what's going on B. So flashing towards long after a Molotov was sent out to just try and delay this push. Now Crucial starts to step up. The timing against him because he's missed Kai behind him deep in toilets. The peak. Oh, it's a Thomas loss, but Max doesn't lead straight out. Now Kai and Nora, the 2 players, both coming from behind now, look to try and retake the site. Endpoint being considered a off-angle plant, and I don't blame him.
Both players from AVEZ wanting to push the long angle. Mighty Max, the first point of contact, turns around but doesn't get any kills. Orp on Crucial. Spotted the head, finds the flick. One more. Same angle. Smoke gives it away. Arm not spotted. Crucial gets aggressive through the smoke. Tagged up by the flames, though. The sound cue given away. How unfortunate for him. Norat standing true. The player rotating from the B site. Able to keep it clutch for AVEZ.
The 7. They regained the lead. Endpoint yet to have a lead in this overpass map so far. They are 1 map ahead in general. Good time also for AVEZ to pick up a round because it just saves their economy at quite a crucial time. Endpoint do have the money, but the loser of this one might be lacking in the weapons department come round 15. It's going to be quick towards B. It's again Endpoint starting things off with a default standard. Max this time the player working in connect, and it's quite fast to really get this short control. The worry is Crucial could form. He's the one with the AWP for the Endpoint side.
First kill of the round found by a HE grenade. Kai removed. One of the better weapons on this AVEZ side. Norat, that's just clinical. Walking back to the B site. Stops, has a look in connector. There's Mighty Max. Double think. See you later. Back I go. 4 on 4. It's equal as quickly as it wasn't. Bialy, the flash is great for him. Thomas taken down. An Endpoint starting to fall apart in this round now. Isolated players on this T side, spread out across the map. And right now with no real direction as to where they want to hit.
This is not comfortable at all for Endpoint. Again, they're going to rely on one individual player to really step up and find an opening kill, but they've more or less got a crossfire on the CT end of things, so as soon as Nora got a peek from Surreal, it was always a CT win, more or less, there and then. And Robin now looks for the step up, looks for the kill back on short. Well, the AWP gets caught out. And with 20 seconds, though, Robin Well, him and Endpoint were really relying that they could find the kills to really cement an A play off of this, but it hasn't gone to plan. 10 seconds left. Speed has to just back off and play the safe angle. 2 warps to be kept over for AVEZ. These two weapons going into the last round are going to be so good, and that's where Endpoint are going to be lacking.
Robin with 1 saved AK. There might be a couple more rifles out, but it looks like they're just going to go for SMGs, pistols, and armor. Not the ideal setup as AVEZ hunting down the 9-6 scoreline at the moment in this half. The hero AK in the hands of Robin even. He's going to have to do the work, but it's the double AWP setup from AVEZ, and I really like that they put it in Norat's hands. He's been so good so far on overpass. Give him the sniper rifle. He's earned it. Give him a chance. Marcos actually tagged early by Surreal. Could be in trouble as Surreal's found Kyler as well. Bialy has to come in on the flank and stabilize, though. That's 2 quick headshots. Looking for yet more in connector as Norot's secondary AWP does devastating damage to the Endpoint attack. Thomas, quick double dink onto Bialy with that Tech 9, but now he's got 2 warps and an AK to deal with. This HE could find one of them.
Aldenay does something for work. He found a kill on Norot, but it's behind where Kai finds him. With it, AVEZ essentially close out CT. Good start, but a weak middle ground. Point did step up, but like I said earlier, statistically, Endpoint better on their CT side. 6 could be enough. And now it's going to be down to Pistol to see if AVEZ can gain themselves any advantage, or if Endpoint now swing this back in their favour and push on for what could be a 2-0 clean sweep.
The pistol for Endpoint, it would be the platform for the comeback. For AVEZ, it would be the opportunity to try and take control, further control of your map pick, and send us over to Vertigo as the decider. Norat with 17 kills. He has been individually brilliant on overpass. No assists either. It's all him. Meanwhile, who else but Thomas would be leading the way over on that AVEZ side? Surreal on 11 kills, but really the fragging advantage firmly with that core 3 over on AVEZ. We'll have to see whether or not that changes or not on the T side.
Yeah, it's the second time today where we've watched Overpass and we've seen really CT Orp has not given the best opportunity to turn up, because Marcos wasn't really hitting his shots as consistently as, say, he could have done over on Dust 2. He didn't have the opportunity too often to warp on Dust 2 either, but it's something that we're starting to see now. CT Orp has not given the best opportunities on Overpass, and it could be down to a number of factors, but as we now kick off what's going to be a second half, it's going to be a big one for both AVEZ and Endpoint. As you said, a platform for Endpoint. If they win Pistol, certainly help them push forward. And look at the odds, still back in AVEZ's favour.
Our partners over at LootBet, sort of reflecting my own feelings on this map. I can't lie to you, AVEZ, they have looked at much more dangerous side here. Endpoint's T side, it was commendable, but so much hangs in this pistol. So much indeed. And this is a very interesting call from Endpoint. It's the full B stack. 2 players actively on short. All of them on short. Oh my word. AVEZ waiting on the other side to crack into B. This is going to be insane.
Well, Surreal for now looks for this initial kill down towards short, but it's the players on site who now look for the damage. Crucial. Oh, gets 2 nice ones. The second a headshot, and as Max also chimes in with the kills, they make it look easy. Endpoint, they make it flawless on Pistol CT. They kick it off in stunning fashion. AVEZ not even allowed a bomb hunt, and that's how the UK side wanted to kick that off.
It's a really interesting way to play. It definitely favors the B bomb site. You can see that you sort of stick towards short in case they hit A. You can rotate up through connector and through the traditional methods from B, but that does leave your A site slightly weaker. Not as weak as stacking directly in the site, but it also distracts AVEZ that you're on off angles. Nobody's actively holding in there. They're hunting around for angles, but you're out on short. You're out pushing in weird places, and it converts on the pistol. AVEZ, they choose not to eco. Not to force even. They choose to eco. Crucial. He's going to spot all of them coming out of connector. He'll get 2 of them. Robin's MP9 trying to farm up some extra cash for himself as well, but it's Crucial on the quad kill. Anti-eco his way, and AVEZ going straight for the full buy here in round 18 to deny up the tied scoreline.
2 in a row that Endpoint go without a death. That's a positive start to their CT end of things, but this is really where AVEZ will start to provide a challenge and a concern as to whether Endpoint may struggle going forward in this map, or in this half at least. Robin 8 kills. Surprise, in fact, considering he was top on the Dust2 scoreboard. He's a good though, an MP9 up close. Oh, beats an AK. Viali's gone. And in fact, Robin even allowed to fall back with his life is a positive start and a great one, at least if you're an Endpoint fan.
It's crazy that Robin's allowed to get away there. Kai, you can tell, he knows Surreal's here, but he doesn't have a Molotov to root him out. Surreal will just take him away. 3 on 5. AVEZ, this full first bite. It's not looking great. Molotov and a smoke, that's all they have utility-wise to get to a bomb site, to find some players on the way in. Not impossible, but certainly difficult.
Well, I almost feel like the best bet at this point would be to maybe try and group up and just stack up together. Try and get damage done that way. Don't get sent off towards the back of site, or sorry, for the cross. Crucial is in that. It's going to be Surreal down towards B, finding the kill on Kylo anyway, so the B defense holds strong. Now on the A site, Marcos and Nora look to maybe deny Endpoint another. Oh, don't go for the knife.
Oh dear, Crucial! Oh, no. The disrespect! Oh, he's done them both. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs for AVEZ. The full buy goes wrong. They take a knife, and Endpoint tie it up at 9-9.
That smoke, I feel, was so... I don't know what the smoke was. I don't know if it was intended to land there, but it just felt like that threw away part of the round. They were just looking for something, and too right, AVEZ go for this little pause. That's 3 rounds in a row, even the first gun round, where Endpoint keep all 5 of their players alive and don't even gift a bomb plant to the T side. Economically, you're low. Mentally, shouldn't be too bad. But Endpoint, this is their chance to now take the lead for the first time in this map. Already 1 map ahead in the series. On AVEZ, has to be an eco.
Just a couple of pistols from them. A few flashes to boot as well. Making sure they stay above 1,500 in the majority of cases. And they know just how much pressure they're under. They know that the series goes away if they lose this map. Robin burns Marcos alive. He tries to get out, but the double Molotov. Absolutely beautiful. And it's kills like that that are the best to have on the CT side, because they take nothing. They take no HP. It's just utility. You have to take virtually no risk in order to get them, and it just strengthens your CT side that much more. Now AVEZ, they're going to charge in towards this B bomb site. Surreal on the close angle, though, has found 2 through the smoke. 3 as he holds down left click. Nora did well in the first half, has done well to find that kill with the P250. But let's get this AK and get it out of there, perhaps.
Endpoint don't need to push, they've got the bomb down also, but that's a nice little peek from Nora. Player in connector actually deleted. This becomes deadly and really concerning from Endpoint. Luckily, Thomas was alive and he does keep it in their favour. That was almost a 1 versus 5 they throw away, but Endpoint, they do clock up to 10. And that individually from Surreal was just so good. I didn't expect that 3rd kill to go his way.
Yeah.
Nora has made it a concern.
Endpoint suffering perhaps a little bit from 4's symptom, just peeking 1 at a time and nearly allowing that clutch to go away. Eventually they convert. Now it's the full buy from AVEZ. AWP finally in the hands of Marcos. He's going quickly down into connector, but there's nobody contesting him straight away. Smokes and flashes already out on B. You can tell here perhaps AVEZ are looking for a contact play, but Crucial's here with his AWP. And Robin really has to bail him out. If they lose connector control, Crucial could be in serious trouble.
Oh no. Max, he opens the door, gives up the angle, so he can't trade out. And Molotov isn't working out. No connector control for you, Endpoint. As it's AVEZ who can now work their way with that. And maybe look towards the A site. Now have got Max clearing the close angles down towards B, so that's not
no.
What is happening? Oh.
Vax is not having very much luck with his grenades in this round. 5 on 4. AVEZ. This time it's the A site they want to have a go of, and there are 3 players actually here stacked up for Endpoint. Thomas on the aggressive angle as well. Expect him to swing out as soon as that utility pops. Smoke should buy time, but it actually could call for the execute. They go through. Thomas is blind. That second flash is ideal. Surreal finds one, but it's still a 3 on 4 now for them to deal with. Surreal on the close angle can't convert Bialy. The AWP can't get anything either. Mighty Max. What's he going to do? On the flank, 4 players to find. How likely is that? This one, it's going to be tied up for AVEZ. All but guaranteed. Making sure Endpoint know that the Polish side are still in this series.
Not giving up. A nice one, but it just got unfortunate when Robin lost that connector presence and couldn't find anything. Endpoint weren't really prepared to trade out, unfortunately for them. But for AVEZ, now a chance to push forward. Maybe this AK does get dropped, but they've not cleared the angle. There goes an AWP, potentially. AWP should be saved. Ooh, there you are.
Bomb bounces it around a little bit there. AWP pinball going on, but eventually it does land back in the hands of an AVEZ player. And straight back onto Marcos eventually. The buy can still come through for Endpoint, but this is the one that breaks the bank with the loss. Utility still there, but slightly weaker firepower. They're going to need to use the tactics to make up for it here.
AVEZ still get a bomb or get weapons in the next round, despite potential loss here. Now the spam is a nice idea, but it doesn't do anything towards Endpoint for now. Tyler might be the entry player. They didn't quite avoid the flashes, but they still find the kills. Thomas, 2 of them. A nice easy clean up, and it was so close to 3 with that little spam through the smoke. The already up close does get caught out. Thomas, he looks insane. And it's just AWPing for Marcos. Could be a gift, but he has a lot more.
Did Marcos kill his teammate there? Is that what just happened? I'm very confused. I thought there were 3 AVEZ players left alive on the way, and I thought there were 2 in Monster. And unfortunately, it just doesn't work out. 1 versus 4. Marcos, he knows he can't contest this one. He's just got to back straight out of there. And Endpoint, they're going to have 11.
It's awkward. Kill's not ideal. But I thought that was going to go so wrong when Surreal just wasn't able to avoid any of the flashes. Got unlucky in the timing. Going for this? You still wanting damage, Marcos? Just save the AWP. If he had it, well, would have been a much more comfortable buy, but Norot's going to have an AWP if he wants to without anything at all. That would be his entire funds gone.
Yeah, Marcos killed Bialy, shot him in the back with the AWP. Unfortunate scenario to have occur within Monster there. Round advantage for Endpoint, and interestingly, AVEZ, they don't go for the bank-breaking buy. They go for the force instead. Keep the money relatively okay, and go for the full in the next.
Norot gonna be so quick, maybe towards B water, at least for now. Endpoint haven't been aggressive towards B, but they almost were aggressive up towards long. Crucial lucky Europe doesn't hit anything or lose anything. Pretty prepared for the nade stack.
Yeah. Endpoint, they just read that really well. AVEZ. A nice strategy, but ultimately one that can't work out in the round. Now with the Tech 9s, they have to reposition. They're going to get closer to A, try and exploit this bomb site. Crucial. He's been a bit inconsistent so far in the series. Love him to start hitting shots at the moment. Robin needs to be very careful. There's so many players in the bathrooms. He's just simply not aware of it.
Oh, that's awkward. A missed orb shot, and Crucial now really is under the pressure. A load of Polish players are now trying to contest him. They lose the side, but he doesn't quite get overwhelmed all the way towards bank. In fact, Thomas is great. Oh, it's two big ones. Lovely center kills come out, but Biali, of course, is the man to trade out. Player towards up to it, and one in bank. A scout, all that's left, but has to find two more. Got close. Endpoint do so well on the retake to make that work out.
Orp recovered. Necessary for the Endpoint economy. Thomas on about 7.6k is going to drop his AK. He can comfortably buy himself up as well. The Endpoint economy just about rounded out enough, but AVEZ, they can still bring the full buy here. The pressure starting to ramp up, though, for the Polish side in this one, it does have to be said. This is the transfer for Thomas. It's not the cleanest transfer, but it's a very long range, to be fair.
No, and it's still a great effort. Now pushing forward. That AVEZ's money a little bit sticky if they maybe find a defeat here. Crucial towards long, goes for the aggression. Not something we've seen too often, but Crucial hasn't been fully consistent on the shots in their connections. At Endpoint with two players towards long, now back out and play somewhat safer. Smoke there in toilets, which they could walk through. They shouldn't. Robin looks to set up what could be retake of their own A site before one goes down. Oh, that's good.
It's continued aggression. Crucial knows he can't walk any further. Forward, Kyler! Very nice headshot. Surreal has found Kai. That swings the man advantage back to Endpoint, but aggressive positioning does find Endpoint early kills. AVEZ are able to trade some back at the very minimum. Where do they take the bomb? That's the question. It looks like Kyler's going to go up and support his AWPing teammate at the top of connector. Perhaps hunt this one for A. It'll be Surreal who will flank connector eventually. You know that's coming, and in the sight is Mighty Max, the first defender. He's actually underneath. So the A-bomb site completely free, and Thomas on long. Perhaps the closest player to deal with things.
Oh, there's the bomb plant. Marcos had a little peek towards long. Bomb still hasn't gone down yet. It goes down in the nick of time anyway. Retake where Endpoint have an advantage, but they don't quite have the map and site control. Max could get caught off guard if he doesn't peek the angle to the left of him. Kylo also forced to watch two angles. It's awkward, and it's going to be about timing. Flashes come in now. One player supports Thomas up on short. The peak though, Kylo gets them both. He wants a third, and that's so clean. 12 HP and an AVEZ win. They keep the AWP and they keep the dream alive to find 11.
Big plays from Kyler in the A-bomb site. Oh my word. Look how nasty these headshots are. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Endpoint's retake denied by one man and one man only. Look what that's done to their economy. Endpoint dropped down now onto the force. AVEZ with the opportunity to tie things up at 12-12.
Oh, look at that Endpoint money. Not perfect, it's not ideal, and for now a nade at the right time could set off damage, but doesn't reach anywhere. Bounces off the wall. Almost does get a little boost up from Max, but they've not quite found much yet. The M4 UMP surrounded by Deagles. A weak Endpoint buy, but something they're trying to do to force AVEZ into a weaker economic state.
Can't afford any aggression on the CT side this time. As passive as possible is the name of the game here. Thomas on 25 kills or so already. The Beast getting it done. It's real. Oh, he gets tagged and he gets found. Kai. He'll convert that spray into a full one. An advantage turned double by Kai, who deletes Thomas in the B-bomb side as well. The rest of Endpoint positioned in mid to deal with an A take. Kai's found Mighty Max now as well. He's not stopping, and the AKs, they've absolutely wrecked this Endpoint buy. They have to go on to the eco in the next, and that's going to give AVEZ the round lead.
Oh, that might be an AK that now Crucial can look to hang on to, but AVEZ are pushing towards CT stairs. It is at least a good one. Unlucky that Crucial had enough bullets to really cement the kill. AVEZ have tied things up, and Bialy already prepared to take out his opponent. Over piece. Pause yet. Endpoint. Don't have the money to really work with anything. Could be 13.
It's all that 1v3 from Kyler. That's what put AVEZ in this great position. Optimum territory to take over the game. If you think about it, Endpoint, it'll be 13-12 after this eco, you have to expect. When they go for the full buy, they're fighting to deny 14 and deny the breaking of their own economy. AVEZ with a clear chance to shut Overpass down here, just as Marcos is shutting down these ecoing pistols. No mercy. The AWP, an absolute slaughtering weapon as Kai finishes it off. The round advantage, it is garnered by AVEZ, and now Endpoint, they might be the guys starting to sweat.
Well, they will be starting to feel the pressure. AVEZ have made such a good response to what felt like a unexpected quiet game on Dust 2 from them. 16-5 was how Endpoint took their map pick. Now AVEZ, map turf, have now certainly shined into life. They've got the AKs, they've got a Mac 10 on Kai, despite him having 48k backup. With a very mixed fire. They've got an AWP out on Crucial, that's got no armor. They've got an M4 on Robin and Surreal. Thomas awesome. Now Endpoint, desperate that they maybe get an opening kill.
They're praying for it. This buy is so precarious. The opening kill, necessary for Endpoint. It feels like, perhaps even for this map, everything hangs in the balance of this round. AVEZ, they know it too. They're taking it just as slow. And it's Kyler to fall first. Thomas finds that opening kill. And that's great news for Endpoint. Crucial, unfortunately, whiffing on long, but he knows he can back off to a safer angle now. He just has to be careful that he doesn't get pushed too heavily. From A short. Thomas is here to deny Bialy, though, and Endpoint, they start to stabilize. 2 left for AVEZ, and they might just decide to save here.
Well, Marcos still wants to go for this. They still want to get some damage done maybe at the end here, and it's a massive risk that it could be a great gamble if they fall and find the kills against Endpoint. For now, Surreal shuts it down once again towards barrels. They tie it up at a brilliant time because that saves their economy. AVEZ can still afford to get a decent set of weapons in this one. 13 apiece. But now Endpoint have a much stronger buy. They've all got armor. They've all got utility. This could be what they were looking for.
They live. All 5 of them. They survive in a round where the economy is of the utmost importance. Tied scoreline again. 13 apiece. Crucial this time. Peeking the top of Connector as he uses Mighty Max to try and jump peek the info. Eventually spots one model and decides he doesn't want to regress any further. Nice nade onto Bialy. Tags him down to 49 early. Even takes Kyler down to 75. AVEZ playing it slow again and targeting the B-bomb site.
Comes the utility. AVEZ won't be too quiet about this approach onto the side. 3 on short and 1 already deleted. Max gets both of them. That's a crisp hold. And as AVEZ try and push out a monster, they all fall one by one. Kyler remains. And at some point again looking for a flawless, clean round. Max wanted to push, he considered it. In fact, play it safe, and Kyler looks for anything else.
I don't think he'll be able to find anything with 40 seconds left on the clock. He's got the bomb, but there's no way he's getting into a free bomb site. They flashed and Molotoved him. They know his angle. He's found a kill on the way out, but they've spammed him through the wall. Endpoint up on 14 now. You thought they were under pressure, and under pressure cracks can form, but pressure can also form those diamonds, and Endpoint perhaps now pulling away here on overpass. It should be another AVEZ full buy, and Endpoint, if they dispatch of this, you have to think they've got their spot in the semi-finals.
I mean, it could be there. AVEZ, what felt like a map they could have snatched away and taken from Endpoint. Now is a map they've got to force themselves back into. They've got to get themselves something back. The AWP now towards long certainly looks to deliver something. Now the Polish side play it safe. They look to get entry information. Endpoint, that will give them anything too easily. Up close, they've got a crossfire in bathrooms. 3 proles now look to progress out towards Fountain.
Endpoint not moving a muscle in those bathrooms. Standing true. And this is such a gamble. It's a huge gamble. Crucial. Has to land the shots. Robin's found because of that flash. He's punished now. Crucial as well. The risk doesn't pay off for Endpoint. Thomas can bail them out with 1 kill at minimum, but there's still 4 charging into the A site. Marcos has found the kill he's looking for with the AWP. Mighty Max down, and AVEZ, it's tied up at 14-14. Surely surreal. With 3 left to find, can't do anything now, but right low down, but eventually he can back off to a better angle. Surreal shouldn't be contesting this one. He has to back off. It's definitely going the distance, Louis.
Thomas has got 30 kills even before we reach the end of the match. Again, that one key player who certainly turned up in some of their games yesterday again turns up here. Robin and Max, 13 kills each, but Bialy and Kai, they have helped their side to really regain what could be a lead at the end of this. 14 apiece. The AWP and 2 AKs get saved up. Now, how does the economy look for Endpoint? Far from ideal.
They can buy at least. AVEZ are calling a timeout. I mean, you could argue that works for both sides here. Both wanting the opportunities to talk things through. High pressure situation. Absolutely it is. 14-14, all on the line on overpass. A buy for both sides, a win to break your opponent's economy. That's the prize on the table. You have to say that AVEZ, with the loss, would have the better buy than Endpoint. So this round perhaps more significant for the CTs than their offensive counterparts. Time just ticking down now, and AVEZ need to have an answer to this Endpoint defense if they want to take us to map 3.
Both sides have an AWP. Crucial has limited economy, much like most of his teams, to be fair. They've mostly got a good chunk of it, but for now it's connector control, which AVEZ will work. It's aggression, and Crucial doesn't quite hit the shot. Even he looks surprised that that didn't somehow connect, but not against short control. Max needs to be careful he doesn't quite die.
Thankfully, they escape. That looked incredibly dangerous there. That could have been the round, honestly, for Endpoint. Thrown away. AVEZ just narrowly unable to capitalize, but still with 5 alive. They have opportunities.
Marcos wants to look towards long. AVEZ, all 5 players at this point, now going to group up at least towards Fountain as a starting point. Endpoint aren't being too aggressive. They'll send the smoke down towards Banana. That sound cue gets picked up by what's left of this T side. Good run boost. Lost gains little off it. In fact, just knowledge that long is cleared. No one is up here. Endpoint end up with 3 on the A site with 30 seconds to go. Utility, that's now running out, but they've still got flashes, and that could certainly get Endpoint out as Robin opens things up first.
That's the heroic kill. Turns away from the flash, turns back the second, and he turns around for Bialy. Marcos has found a kill onto Crucial, and that's been equalized now by AVEZ. 3-on-3 situation, but with 15 seconds to go, they have to secure the planter. That's the key point. Thomas swings out. Oh, he can't find the Guardian. That's the bomb given away now. Down for free as Nora. He's found Surreal. Marcos' AWP hasn't finished it off yet, but the 3-on-3 retake is not good for Endpoint. They shut down towards the end, and AVEZ pick up map point.
Map point and the potential for Vertigo suddenly becomes a reality for Endpoint. It was a map they played at least in one of their series yesterday. AVEZ, what a comeback they've had. And you can't help but feel they maybe deserved to take this over the line, and they've got one last shot at it. Endpoint. It was a great start to CT life, but it all fell apart when AVEZ had the money going for them. Tyler will be first point in connector. I think AVEZ at this point just want to slow things down against pistols.
Started off so well for Endpoint. AVEZ replied with both kills quickly, and then Thomas's whiffed spray was the beginning of the end. Mighty Max, surely, what on earth? He clearly does have no information on the players pushing him to short. Can't expect them. Looks away at the wrong time. And falls down. One of the 5 Deagles now lost. Robin, the issue is that this door is closed. He has to make a sound cue to push. Endpoint, they look like they want to go for the gamble call here. They want to stack up towards the B-bomb site. It's the right one, but surely AVEZ with the firepower are going to be able to trample into this site.
Thomas is, I think Robin's waiting for the right call as Thomas just holds short. The Deagle connects damage, but not quite a kill. Surreal, he needs to step up. He does find at least 1 kill back. Kyler, all he has to, and the spam isn't enough to find much more. Surreal can't do it. And you know what? Vertigo is going to be on the cards. AVEZ come off better here on Overpass. 16-14. We went the distance, but it wasn't enough for the Endpoint side.